Very recently, 1 to 3 days ago, depending on when this video is uploaded, the official title for the upcoming Fairy Tail movie was announced. The name of the movie is going to be Fairy Tail Dragon Cry, and the name alone tells us quite a bit actually. I mean, we've had an image of Natsu undergoing some type of dragonification, but an image alone just wasn't doing it for me. But now that we have a title as well, I figured I'd make a prediction on what it is that we're going to see in this upcoming movie that's coming out in spring this year. Okay, so right off the bat, let's talk about the time frame of this movie. We know from the image of Natsu that he's got his bandage, so it's pretty obvious that the movie is post time skip. However, the movie isn't canon, so it might not tell us an awful lot. I mean, his power level is probably gonna be relevant to that time frame, but since it ain't canon, as far as the plot go, it doesn't really have to follow any rules, if you know what I mean. This means that we very well might be seeing the return of dragons, as in real actual dragons. I mean, the movie is without a doubt going to be centered around dragons, well, at least a dragon theme, and Natsu is probably going to be in high focus in this one. At least that's what I'm thinking, but what exactly is it that's going to happen in this movie? Who is the enemy? I mean, the dragons would be the obvious choice if there are any dragons, but anyway, I'll just jump straight into my predictions because I have two predictions that I'm kinda thinking about covering in this video. Okay, so my first prediction. Seeing as in the Tartarus arc we found out about Natsu and the others' antibodies which prevents the dragon slayers from turning into full dragons, I'm kinda thinking it might tie into that, and what I mean is that I believe there's going to be some connection where Natsu and possibly the other dragon slayers' antibodies as well will fail to do their job. But in all honesty, I think Natsu is the center of attention, so he'll probably be the only one that undergoes this transformation that we've seen an image of. So when I say that they fail to do their job, I am simply referring to the idea that the dragons that were inside of them simply misjudged the power of the dragon seed within them. But if this is a Natsu exclusive thing, then it's possible that Natsu's demonic counterpart plays a part in it. Now, manga readers, we of course know a lot more on the situation of Natsu Dragneel, but if someone watching this is an anime only fan and are unsure what I mean with the dragon seed, well, I don't wanna spoil anything, basically the source of their magic. However, I'm very skeptic about that being the case, since I bet they don't really want to spring the surprise on Natsu's reality before the anime does. I mean, it's been revealed that he's e.n.d in the anime, but Natsu himself doesn't know it yet. It would feel very off to me if they animate a movie that's ahead of the actual anime, you know what I'm saying? So what would the plot be then? I mean, that might be the source of his new form, but what is the movie going to be about? Well, in this first prediction, I'm kinda thinking dragons aren't going to be in it, but I think the dragon cry is referring to Natsu himself, but I've yet to determine exactly how. I suppose it is possible they might end up finding an actual dragon egg maybe, and the plot will revolve around that in some way, but I just don't see it happening, to be honest. I'm thinking it kinda has to do something with Natsu's biological reaction to maybe if the dragon seed does something crazy, right? And that causes his transformation into this half-dragon state that we have seen in these images, but I'm just not sure. Okay, so my second prediction then, and this is the one I like a bit more, but I think it's a lot less likely to happen. Before I begin, let me just say that the grounds for this prediction is that it's not canon and anything can happen, so keep that information in mind when listening. Alright, so what if Dragon Cry takes place in the timeline where Future Rogue and Future Lucy originally came from, but it wouldn't kick off in the GMG time frame, instead it would be post timeskip, with Natsu being alive. We know that Natsu died in the anime, or well, Future Rogue said so, that he was fated to die by a dragon, but I don't think it was ever hinted as to when he died. I mean, they're from 7 years ahead, and the time skip is like 1 year later only, since he returns during the next GMG tournament. So now that we all hopefully understand what I'm suggesting, I think something is going to happen during this time. Most likely his Nakama being in grave danger, and Natsu will unlock the next level of Dragon Force, if you will, which is the mode that we've seen in these pictures. I mean, I don't think anyone is going to die in this movie despite it being in that particular timeline. I mean, maybe someone will, but it doesn't really exactly seem right. I mean, it could start with some already being gone, like insignificant guys like that Russian dancer guy, or maybe Ritas, you know, people that nobody gives a shit about. But yeah, I mean, I don't see any main character of any sort perishing during this film, if this is when the movie is playing out. This idea for the movie is however the only idea I see working properly if dragons are to be existing in the present. Like, obviously the movie isn't going to take place 400 years ago, or well, maybe it will, who knows. I doubt it very much since the movie takes place post time skip and the Eclipse was kinda destroyed pre time skip, so it would feel very off even if it isn't canon. Anyway, that's about all I can think of on what this movie might provide us. When it comes to minimal details plus predicting, there are so much that can happen, and this is what I came up with. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what you think this movie is going to be about, and if you did, like this video and subscribe if you're new. Bye.